Hello, folks. It's been a while, right? Yeah, I know. I'm coming to you with some more news from the political world. It's just getting more ridiculous. No one, at any time, has ever seen anything like the presidential election that you're seeing here, this one in 2016. And I'm just going to, touch on a few specific points. Now, Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump won. I mean, Trump is the big boss in the Republican Party. They've spent millions and millions, all these super PACs, and they have only made it worse. And not nobody, all the commentators and everybody just wiped out. They don't know what to do. And in a sense, it's the same way with Bernie. They thought he would have been out, and as soon as they count him out, he just keeps right on winning. And now here's the, excuse me, folks, here's the thing. The Democratic Party are telling him it's time for him to throw in the towel. And Senator Bernie Sanders said, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going anywhere. Not right now. And you can't blame him. Folks, let me tell you something. They have never seen anybody like Bernie Sanders, talking about the Democrats. And the Republicans have never seen anything like Donald Trump. First of all, he funds his own campaign. That's one thing. Number two, he is not a career politician. Matter of fact, he is not a politician at all. And a lot of people don't like him here. This group don't like him. That group don't like him. But one thing I'll give him credit for, that he funded his own election campaign. Whatever he speaks just exactly what's on his mind. And now, as far as Bernie Sanders, I'll give Bernie Sanders much credit. Bernie Sanders is telling you that Hillary, as well as most of these other guys, Democrat or Republican, are all backed by the same people. Wall Street. This lady gives speeches where she gets, what, $200,000 or $300,000 a speech? She must have had one hell of a, excuse my French, she must have had one hell of a conference or something vitally important to say to these people. She's part of that clique. But what's even more astonishing, and people are saying it more and more, why in the heck would any African American vote for Hillary Clinton? She said, it was already said, she spoke where she said, we, meaning her husband and her, during her husband administration, we had created, what, 200 something or 300,000 jobs? That's just telling you that her husband is going to be right back in the White House. It's still the Clintons. Don't you understand? She stood right with her husband when he signed that crime bill, which at the end of his administration, he had twice the number of African Americans and people of color locked up than at the beginning of administration. He threw you right under the bus, and she agreed with him 100%. And people, black people, some of them calling you coon and all kind of things for saying these people locked up did more damage to you than any three Republicans of recent years you can think of. And everybody's wondering why on earth would anybody period, vote for Hillary Clinton. All she's doing is lying. But African Americans will not vote for Bernie Sanders or Donald Trump. And I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm just telling you, what on earth would you vote for Hillary Clinton? Why the hell would you vote for Hillary Clinton? Excuse my French. This is how serious this is. Do you understand that? You're voting for somebody who literally had more to do with the destruction of the family, or should I say, added to the black family woes, than the last three Republican presidents combined. And not only that, she agreed with her husband when they signed the NAFTA trade agreement. And she want to continue on with Obama, same side, different sides of the same coin. And in this case, it's the same side of the same coin. They're both Democrats. But let me ask you, who did Martin Luther King endorse? Which one of these parties did any of these people endorse? Now I just want to ask you, who did Marcus Garvey endorse? See, that's a different type of mentality. We have integrated with these people and we have lost everything. Do you understand that? I'm talking about from an economic standpoint. You've got these democratic policies, and I'm not a Democrat or Republican. That's what I'm talking about. You follow these democratic policies, and matter of fact, the greatest period of economic growth when the money was really flowing for African Americans, up until, I'm not talking about the Black Wall Street, which that was number one, but behind that, from the middle of, from 1942 or 43, up ironically until the 1960s. To be more exact, up until the time that they signed the Civil Rights Bill. From then on, following the Democrat hook, line, and sinker, you just went down all the way. I'm not, believe me, I'm not standing up here getting ready to tell you and hey, let's vote Republican. No, I'm not telling you that. I'm just saying you cannot blame Republicans for that. You cannot blame Republicans for bringing everybody in the country. And if you want to come in the country, do it the right way. But they had you, some of these so-called self-appointed civil rights leaders and reverends, these bought and paid for crooks, and that doggone crooked CBC PAC, which is not the CBC. Not the CBC PAC is not the Congressional Black Caucus. They just ripped off their name. The Congressional Black Caucus was started with Shirley Chisholm, and I forgot the other gentleman's name, in 1972 or 71. This other people's, the CBC PAC, was started in 1994. You haven't, when you integrated, in other words, the way the Democratic Party wanted you to do, you lost everything, all your businesses and everything. We had our own business. My grandparents had their own business, doing very well, right off the Van Wyck Expressway, back in the 50s and 60s. Made good money and did very good. And it was noticed by a lot of other races too. Everything changed when we start, included, and then when we start this inclusion. I'm not going to get into Daniel Patrick Moynihan, and that I'm not going to get into that. That's subject for another vid. The first thing happened, this welfare thing, when they what happened? The man had to be out the house in order for the woman with child to get supplemented. And that was supposed to be temporary, but they knew just what they were doing. But Donald Trump, on the other hand, let me tell you something. Donald Trump, he said right out in the open, Obama has done nothing for black America. And he's right. He has not done. Obama has taken the homosexual rights up to a level unseen. Obama is not a Christian. Obama could care less about black people. Matter of fact, President Barack Obama is your mortal enemy. Not only to America, I think, but to African Americans. Now he's even after the kids. He's telling people that, don't get me wrong, I don't hate anybody. But if you are certain sex, you should use the bathroom that your sex are, not what you want to be or you think you are. And I'm talking about especially with children. And then what they had a knockdown, drag out. Texas told him to keep his funds. Texas told him and the feds, you do not threaten the men and women of the government of Texas. We'll get our money from somewhere else. Keep your money. You don't tell people that their children have to go to the bathroom and shower together. Not the ones of the same race. not the ones of the same sex. But someone who's a little boy or a little girl and someone who think or want to be something that they're not. It's a disgrace. Let me tell you something. There's only like, 41, we're only 13 or 14% of the population. The Hispanics are 16% and their numbers are rising. Black people are actually depopulating. Every large city that you live in is under gentrification, but nobody speaks on it, especially President Obama. You don't own anything. Every neighborhood you live in, your economy is owned by Asians or Arabs. But nobody speaks on it. But we the first one out there fighting and want to fight against this one and want to fight and march for that one. They had a meeting in South Florida. They bought every hotel. I'm not going to call this ethnic group. They bought every hotel in South Florida and they had a meeting. We're here to replace the Negro, and that's just what the heck they're doing. You need God right now or we will not survive. And whatever you do, this House Democratic Negro is going to vote for Clinton. That's like you buy the gun and they'll knowing you will kill them, but they still will give you the bullets and wave the flag. Yay, here I am. I'm the target. Yay. We are in a storm. We are being replaced. We're in a storm. Our heads in the clouds and we still don't know what the heck we're doing. We need God right now. We're the only race of people that does this. If in the ad wars we're shooting and murdering each other you're shooting and killing each other at an enormous rate. Instead of marching up and down for foolishness, we should be marching up and down the streets of Chicago and Detroit. This House Negro is just like the same House. He has not changed and never will, just like Malcolm X said. The House Negro and the Field Negro. The Field Negro's ready to get the hell on out there and go get his own things. Go get his own stuff. This House Negro, yes, sir, Master Clinton. Yes, sir, Master Hillary. Yeah, just give us a slice of watermelon and a hamburger. You got us vote. You don't want nobody that's going to actually fight for you. We're the only people, another thing, we're the only people that run behind these people because these so-called civil rights leaders and race baiters and these so-called CBC PAC people endorse these people, and we're the only one that, we don't ask for nothing, therefore you never get anything. We're the only race, and we have not improved. We are disappearing. We are depopulating. This is what the experts say. Look at the number. And the abortion rate in the black community is astronomical. If you're not shooting down each other like flies, you're going to the abortion clinics. Unheard of. We're the only race in history. We're the only race that does that. We're on the road to self-extermination. Let's blame the white man. He is something. No, Negro, you is something. We have to separate the Negroes from the old house niggas. We need God right now, or we're going to disappear. It's ridiculous, man. Lord help us, and bless us with direction, and bless us with good leaders. Remember, all that's necessary for evil to triumph is the good people to sit on their behind and do nothing. We need God now. We need to repent and throw some of these old civil rights race baiters the hell on out of here. And stop following these clowns. Because you should see the houses that some of these people live in. Snakes in the grass, that's all. God bless you, folks. I'm sorry, I apologize for getting this. It's just keep repeating the same old mistakes that got us here, and it's appalling. God bless, folks.